Another hot August night just outside of the StubHub Center in Garcia, California, where the USL season is in full swing, and Los Dos getting right back to league action as they get set for a key Western Conference clash against the dreaded nemesis, Phoenix Rising. Happy to have you along here on USLsoccer.com as well as LAGalaxy.com. I'm Christian Miles, joined by the coach, former Galaxy assistant Ralph Perez. And Ralph, we look at this LA playing their best soccer of the season thus far. They take on a Phoenix team desperately needing points like they need to. It's pretty much a winner-take-all, a must-win for both of these two tonight.
Well, at this stage of the season, you know, it's going to be a very challenging situation because they got 3 games less played, and so the Galaxy really got to make sure that they take care of business here at home. So the challenge tonight is, you know, they've been on a good swing. They won on Wednesday night at home. They haven't lost in their last 4 games. So things are going good for Los Dos at this stage of the season.
Changing of the guard at the senior team level, and perhaps a change for the better here for Los Dos. As Ralph mentioned, this is a team that has taken 8 points from their last 4 games, and things have really taken a turn after that 9-0 thrashing earlier last month away to Reno. Of course, the Galaxy coming off that big 1-0 win against their dreaded nemesis, Orange County Soccer Club, on Wednesday night. We shall see what's in store this evening as they look for their 3rd victory here at StubHub this season. One player, of course, that catches the eye no matter where you're watching him, whether it be here in Southern California, overseas, is Didier Drogba. The star power is very much in effect tonight for Phoenix.
Well, you're talking a world-class player, a player who's played at a very high level and has done it all. I mean, and played in Major League Soccer in Montreal. He's a handful. I mean, he's a physical problem to deal with. He's technically very good in finishing, and obviously I think for this level, meaning USL, I think he's in a league where I think he's going to overpower people.
Well, he will wear the captain's armband, part owner, part assistant coach, and of course all player, 39 years of age, already 4 goals in just 8 appearances, the co-top goal scorer for this Phoenix team. On the other side of the coin here for Los Dos, Justin Dillon has been banging in the goals as well.
Well, I think one of the things that I think that you have here, you know, you have Dylan and Zubak, I think, are 2 talented young players that the Galaxy are looking at and really happy with. And for sure, I think they're going to need these young men to play at a good level tonight.
All right, the officials tonight, Rami Touchon, he'll be assisted by assistant referee Eduardo Jeff and Melissa Gonzalez, and Mark Allerton is the 4th official on the near touchline. Now, time now to take a look at the starting lineups. First for the visitors, coached by Patrice Calderon, and he's going to make 3 changes from the team that managed to lose to San Antonio in the midweek. Didier Drogba, of course, back, but Alessandro Rigi and Matt Watson come into midfield, and a big change in goal as Karl Wazinski gets his first appearance of the season today for the Arizona-based club.
Hugo Ariano. I'm a center back, outside back, and I was born in La Palma, California. It was Jersey Shore. I don't know. I like watching a lot of drama, so, you know, that was good enough for me, I guess. A cat? I mean, all they do is sleep, so, I mean, that'd be pretty chill. Biggest pet peeve? When people put ketchup all over their fries, like on top of them, and not like dip them. I hate that. Probably Spider-Man. Who wouldn't want to be flying around in webs all over the city, saving everybody? The little purple devil guy that like smiles like weird, like. I don't know. I'd probably be Chris Martin from Coldplay. I don't know. I'd always want to be like a musician, like kind of like having that as an occupation, just working, you know, having fans like yell at you while you sing, and I don't know. That seems like a pretty cool atmosphere I'd want to experience.
And welcome back to a warm August night here in Carson. Los Dos getting set to embark on match 21 of the campaign as they get set to take on Phoenix Rising, as Ralph mentioned, having played 3 less games than them. So a critical clash, especially for the Galaxy. They go up against a very experienced Phoenix head coach in Patrice Cateron, the 47-year-old Frenchman, very successful at the African level, guiding TP Mazembe all the way to the FIFA Club World Cup a few years ago. And of course, a seasoned international coach as well with Mali, and pretty good buddies with that man, Didier Drogba, those two going way back to their old days. But Bradley Diallo, a former Marseille man like Didier Drogba, wearing the captain's armband this afternoon as you get a good look at the referee, headed up by Rami Touchan, Eduardo Jeff, Melissa Gonzalez in there, along with Mark Allerton. So we take a look at the Galaxy starting 11, and with 3 games in the space of 8 days here, Ralph, a lot of changes. In fact, 6 from the team that beat Orange County on Wednesday night, and it's a big welcome back in goal for Clement Diop. We'll see Tyler Turner reintroduced at right back, and Jeffrey Payeras, remember him? He is back, having signed this week, making his 2017 debut alongside Bradley Diallo. Rio Fuji, one of those changes, along with the 17-year-old Jake Arteaga, while Justin Dillon is reintroduced to the starting lineup. But what do you make of the shape of this team and the choices made by head coach Mike Munoz?
Well, I think one of the things always that you got to consider is that with the Los Dos, you're looking at players, you're getting players in, you're getting them out, getting players being sent down from the first team to play and get minutes here. So a player like Diallo's getting in the game tonight. He played the other night 45. Diop going in goal, trying to get him more minutes. It's important that young players play. That's important in their growth and their development. And, you know, clearly for me, you know, I know that's a lot of games in a short time, but when you're young, you can handle that much better than when you're in your 30s. So I think that this team shouldn't be affected by that. I think tonight's game, though, is going to be a real challenge, and just the sake of, you know, getting your team and getting the team to gel. You know, I mean, that's the thing that Coach Munoz has been challenged with all the time, is that at this level, you're always shuffling the deck there a little bit, as you said, 6 changes. But, you know, just putting them together, putting them out there is going to be important tonight, that they work together well.
Phoenix Rising coming into this game into the 11th position in the Western Conference, finding themselves on 23 points. The LA Galaxy with 3 points adrift into 13th position, so it is all to play for, as LA, of course, will don their white strip, and Raul Mendiola getting set to kick us off as they will attack the goal to the left. And we are underway here from the StubHub Center in Carson. And Phoenix, of course, having won the prior 2 meetings. This is the 3rd of the 3, and the last time they met back in May when Phoenix walked out 2-1 winners here at StubHub on goals from Eric Avila and a penalty from Jason Johnson, wiping out a first half strike early on from Ariel Lassiter. So a good start, imperative, as it comes out wide here for Alessandro Rigi, who's recently come back from injury, playing wide on that left-hand side. And it'll be an interesting role tonight for Didier Drogba, slated to play a deeper role in midfield, something we're not used to seeing out of him.
Well, you can see right away that the team is looking for him, looking to play off him. He's always going to be a good target.
Of course, we expect him to have that flexibility. 39 years young and looking very fit, every bit the part that he looked at Chelsea during that wonderful tenure in those 2 stints with the London-based Premier League club. Near side touch now for Jordan Gibbons. One of 3 English defenders along that back 4 tonight for Rising, as it goes long and up over the top, trying to pick out Chris Cortez. LA gets it back, and it falls to the 17-year-old Jake Arteaga, who gets the start for the 2nd time this season in the center of the park alongside Rio Fuji. And here's the aforementioned Fuji, who was the goal scorer on Wednesday night. Nice little scamper forward into the Phoenix half, surveying his options on this high line. He gives it a boot, and arriving onto it is Vera, and collides straight in for Gibbons. Vera pulls it back, everything he should do, and a swing and a miss from Dillon. Sean Wright Phillips, and it was desperate defending out of the back from Phoenix, as Los Dos had them on their heels.
Oh, that was a good approach. You know, ball served far side. You know, nice effort there by Vieira to get to it and then cut it back. And unfortunately, the final shot was way, way too high. But a good start for the young Los Dos.
Interesting to see how Dylan and Zubak form that partnership. Certainly have plenty of size and power. It's Dylan leading the line with Mendiola just behind him. Phoenix trying to take a bite out of possession as it pops forward just behind Diallo, and it's going to be the first touch of the game for the French goalkeeper Clément Diop, who hasn't played for Los Dos since that 2-1 loss here on this pitch to this Phoenix team. Already with some valuable first team minutes this season under his belt, Clément Diop, and recently called up to the Senegalese national team. Switched out wide for Tyler Turner, who'll be playing right back tonight for Los Dos, playing it forward down that line for Dylan, and it comes out of play. It will be a Phoenix throw.
Well, it's kind of interesting that the Galaxy really just put Dylan up high. They put Zubak wide, and then they have tonight Mendiola over underneath him, where the other night they had Mendiola wide on one side, and Zubak was all alone up top.
Let's see how that 2 works up top tonight for Los Dos. Is Riley Diallo wearing the captain's armband for the first time, also with some valuable first team minutes under his belt. That experience will be vital. We know the stories and travails of youth being called into the first team this year. That means even younger here for Los Dos at the USL level. Touchback now, Arteaga trying to keep it away from Drogba. Only 22 years of age between those two. And here it is for Jeffrey Payeras, the Guatemalan, who was born just inside of LA in Hawthorne. Recalled to the team after a great loan spell from Municipal last year. He's Los Dos through and through, and it's come out wide. And here come Los Dos, twisting and turning. It was a fine effort on that far side from LA. They've earned themselves the first corner of the evening.
Well, there, I thought the outside back for Phoenix looked lost a little bit. Turned one way and turned around, and the ball was going by him. And you know, Zubak had it and tried to turn him and knock it around, but drew the corner. So let's see what they do with this corner kick.
Now Payeras is up alongside big, strong presence of Ethan Zubak. And of course, they've seen Diallo wreak some havoc in these situations as Wazicki getting his first big test of the season right here. The big goalkeeper standing a towering 6'5". It's whipped in and cleared away at that near post, and it'll come out for an LA throw. Phoenix, of course, 6 wins, 7 defeats, and 4 draws. Los Dos sitting tight with just 5 victories this season, 11 defeats and 4 draws. Plenty of room for improvement, but if you look at the way the playoffs shape up right now, Los Dos finding themselves 7 points adrift at that final spot, occupied, of course, by Tulsa Roughnecks. Plenty to play for as Mendiola, always tidy in possession, finds his way to Vera. Flag is down. First touch lets down Vera. Good support provided this time by Josh Turnley. They've come out on the front foot tonight.
Come out very well. Much better than the other night. They started very strong, the youngsters, on Los Dos.
Yes, indeed. It was a real interesting fixture on Wednesday when we saw San Antonio, or Orange County, dominate a lion's share of possession. Wonderful, great defensive effort. John Kempin, of course, making some great saves in goal for Los Dos, but he's on the road with Ziggy and the first team as Drogba and company have earned a free kick inside the Galaxy half. It's so difficult, Ralph, to put together some familiarity and stability with these players being called up to the senior level and brought back down. Injuries, suspensions, of course, playing a massive role in that. Well, one header from Diallo up and over the top. A frustrated Chris Cortez can't get to it. And it's led forward for Justin Dillon way back at the other end, but it's Wazicki who comes out to the edge of the box.
Well, to go back to that comment you made, I think it's a great comment about, you know, how the team fluctuates, but it's so much better that these players get games and get opportunities to grow and develop, where in the early years of MLS that there was nothing like that. So these youngsters have got to relish these opportunities they're getting.
And whereas this Phoenix team, very familiar with each other, don't have to worry about being called up to the senior team. You get a chance to really get familiar. As they say, stability is always the cornerstone for success, but it's been a real entertaining opening 7.5 minutes here at Carson. Los Dos just 2 wins, 6 defeats, and 3 draws here on their home turf. It's got to get better, somewhat mirroring what's happened with the LA Galaxy at the MLS level. And it's a great run forward. Mendiola tries to get around Wozinski. He's come out of his box, and Wozinski has surrendered the free kick. Rami Touchant quickly onto the scene, and the question is, was he the last man?
Well, I think, you know, it was a situation there where someone was going behind him, but, you know, it was a great ball played through to him, and it was unfortunately he couldn't get around him and the foul. So as we look on the replay here, he was trying to knock it around him, and the keeper had there. There was a defender that was creeping behind him to cover for the keeper once he went out. So now this one here is an opportunity, but I always find that when they're this close to the edge of the box, they're really tough to get up and over and on goal in that short of a distance.
Yeah, almost too good to be true. So clearly the defender back, not warranting a sending off by referee Rami Touchant. From the aggressive tactics, it was Wozinski sprinting off his line. Wonderful lightning quick move from the LA Galaxy, and perhaps the golden payoff here from a set piece situation. Turner up along with Raul Mendiola, and keep your eye on that man, Bradley Dial, the freshman. He's extremely proficient in the air, and it looks as though it might be Rio Fuji or Justin Dillon. You mentioned it, it's a real tight distance, and getting it up and over that wall and may go for sheer power, and it's going to be Dillon who blasts it into that red wall. On the rebound as it ricochets wide. And it's going to be a corner kick, I believe, for Los Dos, their second of the evening.
So now you know, you look at these situations for the Galaxy, you know, trying to get themselves something going here on their restarts. And these are difficult situations because everybody's well schooled. They got quite a few guys. They got everybody back but one, Phoenix.
So it's blasted in by Fuji onto that far post. Sean Wright Phillips, all 5'5" of him, gets ahead to that. Robbed of possession now. Diallo still forward from that dead ball. Here's Arteaga. He is supported by Tyler Turner, the right back, who lifts one in, and that's very well read by Wozinski. Sure-handed was the Phoenix keeper that time. So a bit of a shaky start for the rising goalkeeper. Deputizing tonight for Josh Cohen.
Well, I think now what the young team has done here at Los Dos is that they're putting Phoenix under pressure very well and forcing these long balls.
Ramage playing it up and over the top. Get a good look at the 33-year-old Mike Munoz at his first season as the Los Dos coach. Of course, still in charge of the academy setup. Really nice to have that continuity between those two levels. Mendiola didn't know too much about that, and it's a gift for Phoenix as it pops back to Jordan Stewart. I mentioned that strong English presence. 4 of the starting 11 hailing from the UK. Here's Rio Fuji, who takes over for LA. Rides the challenge well and keeps his footing. Nice interplay between he and Mendiola, and this time he's brought down. It's a free kick, quickly taken, and here come Los Dos. Played over to the top for Dillon. A nice interception though by Jordan Gibbons to win it back for Rising.
It was a good advantage there, but the referee let it go, and there was a good cut, a counter there, but no shot coming out of it, and then Galaxy commit a foul to stop the counter against them.
So it's Peter Ramage who wants a word with referee Rami Touchant.
You know, and I think that as we see the replay here, I mean, you know, it's one of those where, you know, trip, but the ball's played on, and then they let it go, and then just as it gets to the top of the box, a good interception there.
It's well read by Gibbons, the 23-year-old English fullback. Here's Didier Drogba dropping into that deep role in midfield, liking to pull the strings. And it's becoming a little bit choppy. More ebb than flow, you could say. And Didier Drogba, of course, the man, the myth, the legend. 4 Premier League titles, that 2012 Champions League triumph with Chelsea. People forget he had some success with Marseille, as did some of the Galaxy players, namely Roman Alessandrini and Bradley Diallo being brought through that system. But this is Drogba, and in my estimation, when he was at the peak of his powers, very underrated from these dead ball situations. He's got a cannon of a right foot, but he has the most accurate of placement as well. And it's Drogba, goes for power. Oh my goodness. An absolute thunderbolt from the Ivorian. It's Drogba at his best. Wow. 1-0 to Phoenix.
Well, I think the goal says it all about the ability to strike a ball from that distance. So when I saw him going up, I was curious to whether he was going to play it or crack it, and he cracked it. He cracked a laser from there, and that'll probably be goal of the week in the USL this week. That might make ESPN's top 10.
Take a bow, Drogs. A page from yesteryear and a moment of sheer brilliance from the former Chelsea man, uncorking one from about 35 yards out. His 5th of the season, and a super start for the Arizona-based club. My goodness, you just don't hit them any better than that, whether you're in training or a game. But to do it when all eyes are on you certainly speaks volumes of Didier Drogba's talent and perseverance.
Well, that was a bomb. I mean, I don't know the exact distance, but it had to be 35 or more out. And that thing traveled with some pace on it that Diop didn't have much of a chance of anything at all.
And it's a good response here. What we see from Los Dos is Vera gets caught in possession, and here's the goal scorer, Drogba, met head-on by Diallo, the Frenchman. The two former Marseille men clattering into each other. You see the respect there for Diallo as he has Drogba, and he really took a piece and a big Didier. Mentioned he just turned 39 in March. One of the owners of this club. He really has a wonderful, jovial approach to the game as he gets to the twilight of his career, enjoys it to its fullest, loves the raucous atmosphere in Arizona. So Rising retreats into a shell of sorts as it comes out wide on the right-hand side for Los Dos, who lose out to Matt Watson. And it comes back the other way for Ethan Zubak. Here's Mendiola with some first-team experience of his own. A little bit of space here for Zubak. This is where he's comfortable operating. Drops it onto that left, goes for that far post, and it trickles wide.
Oh, that was an interesting one. You know, the Phoenix player gets fouled. He falls on the ball, puts his hand on it. Everyone freezes for 1 second, and then the Galaxy player comes, picks it up, takes off, and no call. Now they've come on the field to check on him.
Yeah, Chris Cortez, the player down, recently coming back from injury. While we've got a moment, you can keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams. So this will be a test of Mike Munoz's tactical wit. He just saw world class at its best, and now it's up to Los Dos to respond.
Well, I mean, there you're looking at a world-class player and a world-class goal that there's not much you can do about it as a coach. You're saying to yourself, hey, we got to defend him tonight. We got to find ways to stop him, and then he gets a free kick and he just scooches that thing perfectly into the goal. So I think the key here for the youngsters, Los Dos, is just to get back on track, because they were playing pretty well up until the goal. Not to let it bother them, and get back on a little bit and not get flustered and get their game back in order again.
A man to the far left, Patrice Casaron, the head coach of this Phoenix outfit, brought in relief of Frank Yallop, who started out the season. Vera wins the header on LA's behalf. A 4-game unbeaten run, the longest Los Dos had put together this season. 2 victories over Portland T2 and that midweek win over Orange County SC, sandwiching 2 consecutive draws here at StubHub against OKC Energy and the Tulsa Roughnecks. They found steel and resilience, and that's going to be tested here if they look to come from behind and take anything positive. Dropped for Fuji. This is Vera.
Well, they called the offside on that one, but it was a good idea. I like that ball, and I like the idea that they were trying to get that ball in behind and a little bit too early and called offside.
Vera just mistiming his run just a bit. What a season it's been for Vera, second on the team in scoring with 5 goals. He's led by example. I'd like to see that from you young players. Vera, of course, is 20 years of age out of Norwalk. Long searching ball from the keeper Wozicki as Drogba overpowering Diallo and winning the free kick, and this could spell more misery for Los Dos. Interesting little individual battle between the 2 French speakers.
Well, I think there, you know, Diallo's just got to realize that, you know, with that, just, you know, don't overpower. Just, you know, he's gonna, even if he brought it down, he's got his back to goal, and it's not dangerous. And now to give the foul now gives another opportunity on a restart that can be dangerous.
This is interesting. Certainly doesn't sit up well on the angle for Drogba's right foot. The preferred weapon of choice for him could be Chris Cortez, who's not too shabby in his own right. And a test upcoming for Clement Diop, perhaps, as Drogba will take it. He'll smash one high, lacking any accuracy whatsoever. But easier to take after that jaw-dropping moment of brilliance just minutes ago.
Well, you know, I think one of the things that, you know, you have to always be respectful of is just where you're committing fouls in reference to the part of the field. And that, you know, was something that, you know, you saw it today in the German Super Cup, giving up a bad foul in the 87th minute that led to a tying goal.
Drogba trying to pick out the run here. Ricci 1v2, waits for the support of Cortez, slots it through, good run. Sean Wright Phillips squares it across. Wonderful build-up play and nice backtracking defensive work that time from Diallo, who's been very busy here in the first 20 minutes. Forget about Sean Wright Phillips. He and Drogba going way back to their Chelsea days. So finding the first corner of the evening for the visitors, looking to open up LA for the second time. And beware the outswinger from the little Englishman. They are equally adept from these types of situations. Soft floater right off the head on the near side from Vera. It's reclaimed by Phoenix. Onside for SWP. Pumps one across. The header is in for Cortez. He couldn't steer it on target. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sirius XMFC Channel 85. Don't forget, Sirius XMFC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Well, one of the things that, you know, you see out here tonight now is can the Galaxy find their rhythm again and get it going. Simply, you know, what I would like to see them do is just what they're trying to do right now. Just be patient.
So Dylan's dropped into that wide role, and he's been prone to do that. And Mike Munoz telling you and I earlier this year, he's not a traditional number 9, despite having that big prototypical physical frame. Oh, beautiful ball out of the box. Or out of the back, rather, but LA able to read it. Here's Drogba once again. Caught by Mendiola. Probably just trying to piece something together of consequence. Push forward for Matt Watson, actually one of 5 Englishmen in the starting 11. Cortez dropping it back for Sean Wright-Phillips. Looking every bit the part there. Here's Blair Gavin, formerly of Chivas USA earlier in his professional career. Playing that deeper role in that Phoenix midfield alongside Watson. Gibbons has made that scampering run from right back, and Diallo shielding out of play. It'll be a goal kick here for Clement Diop.
Well, this is one of the things with this league, you know, that as you've done many Major League Soccer games, players that you wonder, hey, where did they go? Where are they when they were removed from MLS? And this is a league where you can fight and work your way back and get games and get an opportunity to be seen again.
That goal really uncharacteristic of the way things have gone in attack here for Phoenix. There's 21 goals scored coming into today, and the second fewest amount of goals in the entire Western Conference, and it nearly slipped in behind. And it's not the first time we've seen Wozinski come scrambling outside of his area.
Well, with the speed of those two guys that the Galaxy have, Zubek and Dillon, I think they've got a chance to get behind this Phoenix defense.
Big switch on the far side. Turner. Supported by Arteaga. This is Rio Fuji, one of the more seasoned veterans in the starting 11 tonight. Right-hand side, and here comes LA and Ethan Zubak. And easily dispossessed as Jordan Stewart just gives it a ride all the way to the halfway line. And it'll come out now for a Phoenix throw. Phoenix very much eyeing perhaps an MLS franchise in the coming years. They've got the investment, they've got the ownership, and they certainly have the star power, that's for sure. Remember, also having Omar Bravo on the books, despite the fact that the former Mexico international did not travel with the team this evening. It drops down for Rigi, the Canadian. Well, 5'4" of him. He's a busy little presence there. Lovely ball played forward for Drogba. It's nearly came off that time, easily into the gloves of Diop. Los Dos defense, Ralph, it's been very charitable this year. That strike from Drogba accounting for the 44th goal conceded by Los Dos.
That's a little too many.
Second highest. It was second highest before the game. Only Seattle has allowed more. Here's Dillon. Top goal scorer on the team, along with Vera. Good turn in midfield there by Arteaga. Fuji's found that pocket of space, just trying to pick the perfect pass for the on-rushing Zubak. Good movement down that right-hand side from Mendiola, trying to chime in. Couple of step-overs here, trying to drop that shoulder. And I have to say that's a good piece of individual defending on that left-hand side by Amadou Dia, the French fullback.
Very good defending, used his body well, positioned himself well, read where the Galaxy player wanted to go and just stepped into that space, and play was over. So quality defending there just by using his body and body position. That's good defending.
A good look at Tyler Turner. Very athletic presence, likes to make those bombing runs down the right-hand side. 21-year-old from Milford, Connecticut, part of the U.S. men's national team under 23 setup. As Diop taking a page out of Wozinski's book, coming off his line. Los Dos relinquish possession. Here's Watson, only too happy to oblige. A little frenetic at this point. Rigi rides the challenge and keeps it alive. With a lot of white shirts in front of him. Some scrappy challenges going on in the center of the park. Here's Drogba flaring out wide on the near side. Good support by Gibbons. Links up with his countryman, Sean Wright Phillips. It's Gibbons in, flag is down, great ball across, and Diop just gets a hand to it. And a great piece of build-up play from the visitors.
It was an excellent ball that was just played into that space, timed well, the run. Everybody thought he was going to lay it back to Drogba, but it was good, and they caught the Galaxy, but a good save by Diop.
Now, Nike's a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information.
As we just saw that replay, nice reaction save by Diop to get parry that ball away from his goal.
He's a great shot stopper, Diop. He's had moments of brilliance, and I could say moments of blushes as well, as the corner comes in, and there's the punch from the French keeper. It clears the box, and Rigi gets ahead to it, but only as far as Adrian Vera. And that last off of Sean Wright Phillips in an LA throw. As we hit past the midpoint of half number one, the goal coming on the 14th minute on a jaw dropper of a free kick from Didier Drogba. Pups at the pitch night. Good to see the Canines representing and treated to quite a show here. As the Stars are out in LA once again. Dusk just settling in Carson.
We've got a beautiful full moon. It's a great night to play.
Here's Arteaga at long diagonal trying to pick out Vera. He's marked up well by Gibbons. And didn't the English right back do well that time? Gonna be a goal kick now for Wazinski.
Well, you know, it was interesting this week that, you know, with the All-Star game being played in Chicago, a lot of talk about who's going to get the expansion, what's going to happen. Obviously, we know here in LA that the Los Angeles Football Club is coming into action next year, and that's really going to be something special here between now two teams fighting for not only success but fan base in LA.
And it's dropped out wide for Rigi, who's come back inside. It's Rigi! Firing just wide. A momentary breakdown that time by Los Dos. Rigi starting to work his way into this game as Ramage takes his safety first approach and will just kick it out for a LA throw. A lot of experience with Peter Ramage. 33-year-old Englishman.
Interesting call here now. You know, he's saying that start all over again on this free kick for Los Dos. So the opportunity now with the Galaxy too is really, I'd like to see Raul find this ball a little more.
Searching ball for Zupac. Once again dispatched by Jordan Gibbons, claimed this time by Josh Turnley, and back the other way we go. Here comes SWP, skips around one, looking fleet of foot, gliding through the midfield before he's met by Bradley Diallo. Back and forth we go as it really opens up here on the half-hour mark. Drop for Mendiola, played out wide. Here come Los Dos. Something is brewing for the Southern California club. Pushing it through now for the on-running Tyler Turner. And it's dropped back, and once again, it's a good defensive recovery, you'd have to say, from Phoenix.
That was an excellent one. That was like an all-out sprint. You know, both players running into the space, and you know, the Phoenix defender did very well to stay foot for foot with him on that 60-yard run into the box.
And got that speed from Dia, as well as Gibbons wide. Here's Rigi, he's got some jets of his own, trying to go 1v2. Rigi drops the shoulder. Sean Wright Phillips joining in, lays it off. Sean Wright Phillips denied by Diop. My goodness, it's coming fast and furious and looking like target practice. Both teams clicking into gear.
That was a hard hit shot, and Diop did his best to try to, you know, to catch that, but it went right off his chest. And you know, as we look at that replay, I mean, it just comes full blast. A nice hit by Sean Wright Phillips.
A lot of power behind that. Don't let his diminutive stature fool you. He's got plenty of dynamite in those boots, that's for sure. Well positioned was Clement Diop. Mentioned he had that run of about 4 games with the senior team. Managed to put up a clean sheet as well for then head coach Kurt Analfo. Deputizing well for the injured Brian Rowe at times. I like to see the competitions for spots at the goalkeeping position because we've seen Kempen really make a claim for it himself. Pushed out for Dillon, who can't get to it. Ramage can. The touchback now for Tyler Turner. This is where LA could just take a little bit of wind out of Phoenix sails, get a foot on the ball, put together some good possession. Diallo wearing the armband tonight. Fuji. Here's Sean Wright Phillips. He's flared out to that right-hand side where he really earned his reputation as one of the more exciting attacking wingers in the English Premier League back in the 2000s. And from the looks of it here, Ralph, doesn't look as though he's lost much of a step.
No, he's still quick, still explosive, and clearly, you know, on that counter that he got that last shot on, that's something that would concern you as a coach.
Vera just trying to push it out, and that kind of belies the whole kind of stereotype about these older European players that are kind of mailing it in. Not Sean Wright Phillips and not Didier Drogba. They're bringing it. Down goes Los Dos and Adrian Vera under the challenge from Jordan Gibbons. Free kick here for LA, just trying to put some assemblage of positive play together here as we get set for the 34th minute. Standing over it is Josh Turnley, a 5'11" fullback from Beaver, Pennsylvania. Tell you what, Phoenix looking very organized here. LA trying to improve upon their connectivity and passing in that final third against a Phoenix team that has been pretty charitable this season. They've conceded 27 goals, 10th most in the league.
Well, one of the things is that when they're under pressure in the back there, they have no hesitation to just put it into touch and just regroup, taking no risk. But now they've got a corner here, Los Dos.
And this could be the ticket back. Up comes Payenes, Fuji to deliver here on the 35th, and it's a bullet straight at the near post where Diallo was making the run. Is it an awkward height there for the French defender, and they'll get another chance at it. So corner number 4 of the evening for Los Dos. Trying to restore parity here at the StubHub Center. Packed track and field stadium. As Fuji delivers, this time high to that far post, sailing over everybody. It drops out. Mendiola chips it right back in and off the head of Payeres before it's dispatched. And that's a shove in the back from Josh Turnley. No question about that, as he got the best of the Phoenix player.
That was an easy one to call. Clear push, clear just, you know, just not even like a running into him. He extended his arms and just pushed him right to the ground.
He doesn't shy away from the physical element of the game, does he, Josh Turnley? Former Georgetown University player. Spent some time with the DC United setup at the under-23 level and finding a home here in Southern California, a long way from his home. So Ramage will stand over this free kick for Rising. Right into the heart of that Los Dos defense. Wright Phillips trying to pick up that second ball to no avail, and Ramage locates Gibbons, his countryman. Up and over the top. Great movement there from Sean Wright Phillips, but not even his speedy boots will get to that one. You get a look at SWP here, Ralph. I know you're an avid follower of the game, and this guy, wherever he's been, has really been one of the more exciting players.
No, it's you know, I mean, you can see that for Phoenix, the signings that they've picked up in coming into this year, is one of the reasons they're getting good attendance there. They got a commitment. You've even got a nice little turnout here to our immediate left out of the press box, the fans that have followed them up here, you know, to support their club on the road.
The Banditos perhaps making the road trip as Drogba pulls it across. Rigi waits for it. Rigi steps over. It's Rigi! Clever, clever stuff. And my, oh my, he has been a thorn in LA's side all evening.
Well, you know, you've got some players out there that, you know, when you look at them and size-wise, not big in nature, but very good with the ball, very good with their feet. And he had a good opportunity there. I think he could have even done better with that, that shot.
You mentioned the speed and pace of Sean Wright-Phillips. Rigi very much equal to the task. Just never found his way in to the Montreal setup. He's found a home down here in the U.S. and he's on it again. It's Rigi to that far post and just over the head of Drogba and into the breadbasket of Clement Diop.
Well, that was a good near post run. If it's a little lower, he gets his head on it. That could have been a dangerous opportunity for Phoenix for a near post header for him. Didier.
Didier making a living from those runs throughout his entire prestigious career, that's for sure. As it's tracked down by Gibbons into the Rising half. Rising is Vera, who loses out. Payeras getting his lines crossed. LA in a mess right now. It's Cortez. He gets it back. It's Chris Cortez who belts one in. Not the Galaxy defense in the corner coming up here for Rising.
That was an attempt there. I think Cortez really wanted to hit it earlier when he's more central, but he had to go a little bit more with it. And a good block there by the Galaxy defender there, because that one looked like it was going on goal a bit. But you could see the little things, little turnovers quickly in that part of the field with the types of players that Phoenix has going forward. It's a little nerve-wracking.
So the corner coming up. Sean Wright-Phillips to take it for Phoenix. When talk about tall timber, they've got a lot of it. Is Diop out and athletically claims it. Quick on the throw. And here they come behind Adrian Vera. A little too casual from Josh Turley. He's closed down by Chris Cortez. That's what they say, defending starts from the front, and Cortez personifying that very well. Meanwhile, on that far side, Tyler Turner for Los Dos trying to pick out Dylan to no avail as it sails over the head of the LA Galaxy striker. Gibbons stays with it. It's a good work right there from the English fullback as Drogba, his shoulders out the challenge from the teenager Arteaga. How many times have you seen Drogba ride those challenges? So big, so strong. You know, he's only 6'2" and they measure him up, but he plays like a colossus.
Well, on that clip there, what you saw there was how you use your body to screen, shield the ball away from the opponent.
So Arteaga is LA looking to build. Turner. And to play it through, good movement. Tell you what, the speed of Ethan Zubak really hasn't wreaked much havoc on that Phoenix defense. Itching to get involved. And he's just muscled off of it, and it's a throw now for the visitors.
Well, what they're doing very good there is playing a little deeper. You know, they know that LA has some pace, so the Phoenix back four are really staying a little deeper to not allow them to get behind them.
Mendiola. Oh, great ball for Vera. It lets it runs across. Gibbons, the cross is there over the head of Dylan. Zubak just late in arriving as it comes out for Dia. Well won back from Los Dos, and this is better. Nice triangles developing, but it's given away as Phoenix claim. Good push to the right-hand side for Rigi, who's floated over to this near side, and he's a spark plug. Rigi puts it on that left foot. Out comes Diop in a scramble. And to call Rigi problematic is an understatement. He's been magnificent tonight.
Oh, that one there was a good counter, and this is a good chance that they had, Phoenix, where the ball comes wide and he's got space, he's got time, and he's running at your goal free with the ball. That's not what a back player wants to see coming at him.
Well, LA Galaxy fans, see the future of your LA Galaxy when Alejandro Covarrubias, Ethan Zubak, Justin Dillon, and Los Dos take on Rio Grande Valley FC on September 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Fans can save money by purchasing their Los Dos tickets in advance online at lagalaxy.com/2. Arteaga, smooth operator in the center of the park. And here they come. And they take a bite out of Phoenix before halftime, 43rd minute. And a nice piece of defending once again from Phoenix, who seem to take it all in stride so well. Drogba just trying to force his way through. And here is Payeres, the 2017 debutant, who is wrestled to ground by the big Phoenix striker. A little bit stretched at times. Payeres so difficult, as you well know, Ralph, trying to reintegrate into the first team as he did so well last year alongside a new partner, Bradley Diallo.
Well, I think, one of the challenges that, I've seen tonight, they've done well in their defending the Galaxy. It's more of just, really getting some chances on the final third, getting some possession with good penetration in that final third, and they haven't been able to get that, whether it be the cross, the pass, and the final shot. So it's something that they got to just keep working and working at.
Here's Jake Arteaga. Picks a good pass, doesn't he? Nice weight to it. Robust defending by Sean Wright Phillips. Referee says get up and play on. Drogba drops back into his own half, and not backing away from the big Ivorian is this LA midfield, but it pops out wide for Alessandro Rigi. And here he comes once again, taking on Turnley. Drops that shoulder. Rigi! Yes, for Phoenix! The breakthrough comes finally for Alessandro Rigi, who has been torturing LA's defense, rising with the advantage, 2-0 on the stroke of halftime.
Well, there's what we're talking about, though, Justin, is that you can't let a good player collect this ball wide, run at your defense, does a nice move to the inside, to the outside. As we look at the replay, this one gets right underneath Diop there on the shot, and well struck and far post. But again, that's a killer for Los Dos, because you're about a minute or less from halftime. And you can go in 1-0, now you're down 2-0, and that clearly is helpful for Phoenix in this situation.
That's a tough one to take. That is a sucker punch for Mike Munoz. His team had been defending well since that moment of magic from Didier Drogba, but the pace of Rigi, who had been terrorizing the LA fullbacks, at least on the left-hand side of the attack, on the right-hand side of that Los Dos defense, switches sides and finds even more success.
Well, not to pick on Josh Turnley there, but he's got to defend that, and on that situation, I think he was trying to force him to the outside, and he forced him to the outside. But when he forced him to the outside, he had too much opportunity then to really rip off a good shot.
So we move into stoppage time. 1 minute has been added on. This could be a great way to claw one back here for Los Dos. Standing over it is Rio Fuji, and they'll bring up the likes of Jeffrey Payeres and Bradley Diallo, just trying to get a noggin on it. It's a nice curl delivery, but a sea of red converging and sweeping it to safety. And a big goal from Alessandro Rigi, capping off what has been a wildly entertaining first 45 minutes. But there'll be more in store here as Diallo crosses, but over hits. It sits up wide for Los Dos, and Zubak, who sends it straight to Wasitsky, makes his first save, I do believe. So the first half in the books. Try as they might, Los Dos couldn't find the answer. The goals coming from Didier Drogba on a magnificent 14th minute free kick, and moments ago on the stroke of halftime from Alessandro Rigi. Ralph Perez, I said it was wildly entertaining, and it certainly has lived up to the billing.
Well, yeah, I think the Galaxy of unfortunately conceded that goal just before half. It was really a tough one to take. Rigi, a good player, as you mentioned, couldn't catch on with Montreal, but clearly, you know, he ran at the defense very well, stuck his shot, and you know, it was one of those that's tough for the keeper. It was right, hard hit, far post, so he got under him, and now it's a 2-0 lead for the Phoenix side going into halftime.
So 45 minutes in the books. Phoenix Rising 2, LA Galaxy 2-0. Keep it right here on USLsoccer.com. We're back with halftime highlights and much, much more right after this.
Scored everywhere tonight. The Los Angeles Galaxy are rampant.
We are at Catskill Elementary School in Carson, California. LA Galaxy 2. The players and the staff is here passing out shoes for the elementary kids. It's been a great event, a ton of fun, and obviously the kids have had a great time getting a new pair of shoes.
Today, LA Galaxy Foundation has partnered with Shoes That Fit, a nonprofit organization that believes every child should have a brand new pair of shoes to be athletic and be able to have a healthy lifestyle in and out of the classroom. So what we did today was we adopted 100 elementary school students from Catskill Elementary. We were able to gift them all a brand new pair of athletic shoes. We also were able to donate to their library with over 200 books. We will continue to support them and have them out at our first Galaxy 2 match on March 25th.
Yes, is there anything better than the cool August nights here in Southern California? Not so good, though, for Los Dos as they find themselves down 2-0 on strikes from Phoenix striker Didier Drogba and Alessandro Rigi. Happy to have you along here on USLsoccer.com. Christian Miles alongside Ralph Perez, and here it was, Ralph, a moment of magic from Double D.
Well, that was a free kick that you could watch over and over again. It was a great one. Here's a good opportunity, though, and a good save. But these were things to come that, you know, this left side of the Galaxy is being exposed, you know. And, you know, it was another good shot, you know, showing their ability to get there. Another good shot coming into the box. So when you look at these highlights, you can say that when you see that many chances, opportunities being shot at the Galaxy goal, here's the goal itself, I think, coming up soon. That was another penetration that, you know, again, coming into the box. But this little cutback move and far post and a real backbreaker because, you know, you're thinking, hey, 1-0 at half would be all right. Here's the chances for the Galaxy a little bit. You know, at the very end there, Zubak getting a shot on goal that forced the keeper into a save. But overall, you know, you can see the penetrations that Phoenix had into the Galaxy penalty box versus the Galaxy's going forward. And, you know, maybe if you're a Phoenix fan, you're saying maybe there could have been more. If you're a Galaxy fan, you're a little disappointed too. But, you know, whether or not this young team can come back, that's the job right now. They themselves to fight and to crawl back into this game.
All right, keep it right here on USLsoccer.com. We'll have the second half and more. It's LA trailing 2-0 against Phoenix Rising FC.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
USL fans, it's time to vote. The 5 nominees have been named for USL Player of the Month, recognizing top performers from the month of July. The Charlotte Independents lead the way with 2 nominees, Jorge Herrera and Enzo Martinez. Herrera scored 8 goals and added 2 assists as the Independents went undefeated throughout the month of July. Martinez added 3 goals and 3 assists, helping Charlotte move into 2nd place in the Eastern Conference. Real Monarchs SLC's Chandler Hoffman pushed his way into the USL Golden Boot race, scoring 5 goals throughout the month to go along with 2 assists. FC Cincinnati's GB Fall continues to be dominant. The Senegalese striker recorded 4 goals and 1 assist in the month of July. Rochester goalkeeper Tomas Gomez also had a stellar month, posting a .60 goals against average, behind 3 shutouts and 14 saves across 5 appearances. Voting comes to a close Monday, August 7th at 9 a.m. Eastern, and the winner will be announced Thursday, August 10th. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly,
disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Introducing the Galaxy Express, powered by Long Beach Transit. The Galaxy Express offers free non-stop shuttles to and from StubHub Center for every LA Galaxy home match. The shuttle picks up from Harbor Gateway Transit Center and Del Amo Station and offers easy access from the Metro Silver Line and Blue Line. Leave your car at home. Enjoy a quick and simple route directly to the game with Galaxy Express. Learn more at lagalaxy.com/shuttle.
I'm Ari Lassiter from Temecula, California, and I'm a forward. My nickname is the Gold Puppy. My father used to be the dog, so now I'm the little puppy scoring goals. Tennis player. Pasta. Or some cinnamon toast crunch.
That's a spicy meatball.
Beyonce. Puppies. The little thing face. The one's like. One Direction.
Goals being scored everywhere tonight. The Los Angeles Galaxy are rampant.
And welcome back to Carson, California here on USLsoccer.com. LA Galaxy trailing Phoenix Rising 2-0 on strikes from Didier Drogba and Alessandro Riggi. A big night. The stars are out, but LA with nothing to show for it. Christian Miles in the hot seat tonight alongside the former LA Galaxy assistant coach Ralph Perez. And well, we certainly expected to see the best from the likes of Didier Drogba and Sean Wright-Phillips. What can we expect to see from Los Dos? And what adjustments would you like to see heading into half number 2?
Well, I think one of the things that you're really looking for is that you're looking for the Galaxy right now to really come out strong. They're going to have to come back into this game, and I think the best way is through some good defensive pressure, you know, and making sure that they try to, you know, just like what they did the other day, pressure, steal a ball in the back third maybe, and get a goal that way. That's one way. Second way, I think they got to really they've got to be a little bit better there. I think the two guys, Fuji and Mendiola, really got to be a little more penetrating with their passes there for the second half. I mean, that's the challenge I see in the second half.
All right, so all the fans out. Pups at the Pitch night here in Carson. And of course, a second annual event where the first 1,000 into the door and through the gates get a bandana for their pooch. A few fire hydrants around. They're livening the crowd up here, and this Los Dos team really need to liven up in the second half. Comprehensively outplayed in long stretches. It's those wide areas, Ralph, where Sean Wright-Phillips and Alessandro Riggi have really had success.
And that's something that I'm sure that Mike must have addressed at halftime, saying to the guys that we can't allow that kind of penetration. We can't allow those opportunities to come from the flanks. So that's the challenge that you're going to see in the second half, to close that down on the flank play. Secondly, let's see if we can get some better play coming through the midfield. And I think, you know, when we really haven't called Zubak's name too much tonight. He's someone that I think the Galaxy got to find.
La Furia Roja, the supporters group who's made their way all the way from Arizona. Been treated to a great show. Phoenix Rising FC gets set to take on Rio Grande Valley FC on Saturday, August 12th at the HEB Park. For tickets, all you have to do is visit phxrising.com. And a team that hasn't had much success on the road, finding some success away from home. Coming into tonight, this is a team that has only managed to take one win in their 9 games on their travels, and that only victory in the cozy confines of this very same stadium back on May 27th when they walked out 2-1 winners at the expense of Los Dos. So the fans get set here, and a final 45 minutes coming up that, if it's halfway as exciting as the first, we are in for a very special treat. Great night for soccer. Los Dos, as I mentioned, could pull level with Phoenix, a team they trail by 3 points in the Western Conference standings. But it's much more vital here for LA, you could say, because this is a Phoenix team that had only played 17 games, 3 fewer than Los Dos, and with the second half of the season looming and those playoff spots becoming very valuable, this is a team that is going to be jockeying with Los Dos for that final playoff spot in the West. So very much imperative, especially for the home team. We shall see. Los Dos on a 4-game unbeaten run, aiming for back-to-back wins. 2 wins and 2 draws, and coming off a midweek defeat of Orange County Soccer Club. And this is, well, a Phoenix Rising team we mentioned not on good form, 2 consecutive defeats and just 1 win in their last 7 games. But when you have the star power as they do, that can change on a dime.
Well, I think, you know, one of the challenges as we look out there as the teams are getting ready for the kickoff is that, you know, you look at age and the experience factor. You know, the best way I always say for young players to overcome more experienced players is you're just going to have to make up for it with a lot of effort. You know, maybe outwork them, you know, and I can see that maybe being in the Galaxy's favor in the second half with the youth on their side.
We'll see what Mike Munoz imparted upon his troops as we get set for half number 2. Christian Miles, Ralph Perez, happy you could join us here on USLsoccer.com as well as LAGalaxy.com, wherever you may be. It's the return of Clement Diop, who hasn't taken the gloves for Los Dos since that loss to Phoenix back at the end of May. He's been quite a busy goalkeeper as Robbie Touchon gets us set. Los Dos will attack the goal to the right here in the second half. Phoenix wearing the away red, looking for their second win on their travels, and we are underway here for the final stanza from the track and field stadium here at StubHub. And quickly off the bat, Josh Turnley holding things down at left back with Arteaga in that central role alongside Rio Fuji. And Mike Munoz going with his tried and true, so no substitutions or changes at the break. But I'm sure he's imparted a long list of instructions. Here's the throw now on the near side for Tyler Turner. It'll come out for Los Dos. They started very well in the first half. Looking for that same start here in the second as it comes out. A little too heavy that time for Raul Mendiola.
Well, you know, just that little situation there. I think Fuji was thinking Mendiola was going to make a run to the flank, pushed it a little wider than where he was, didn't run all the way wide. And, you know, that's the other aspect always that you can think about as well. What does Munoz have on the bench that maybe can come off and help inject something for the second half?
Same 11 for Phoenix as well, and Patrice Cateron. It's come out on the left-hand side for Vera, who links up nicely with Justin Dillon. Mendiola trying to work the 1-2. Didn't quite come off, and Arteaga sweeps up in central midfield, locating Turner.
Good, righty.
It's been tough sledding as LA have just not found those seams and gotten that penetration into that final third this evening. Arteaga, though, has been one of the positive signs. Good movement on just outside the box for Raul Mendiola, trying to play it off the defender, and it'll come out for a throw as Jordan Stewart really reacted well.
A little collision there, unintentionally, but you know, now the Galaxy really have to look at this situation here because, you know, the one element that's not going to be in their favor is time. You know, the longer it goes 2-0, that's not good for them.
Long ball over. The likes of Gibbons, Vera onto the scene, and there's the most recent of goal scorers, Rigi, tending to the defensive duties. Los Dos trying to set up camp in the Phoenix half here in the second half. Diallo. Turner, and a cheap giveaway. Didier Drogba saw Diop off his line. And even the talents of Didier Drogba, that would be spectacular. Very audacious from the Ivorian. That would probably have brought the house down, my friend.
Yeah, surely would.
Long ball out, too much for Raul Mendiola.
I mean, we've seen those. We had one this year in MLS. You know, a goal like that way off the line, and I was showing that the other day on the All-Star break, the top goals of the year. But that one there, that was even on this half of the field. So that was more like 60 yards away.
All-Star break, of course, seeing MLS go against Real Madrid and featuring 2 LA Galaxy players in Jelle Van Damme and Giovanni Dos Santos. Both got a taste of action. Zubac away for it and back the other way. Here come Los Dos. Mendiola can't twist his way out of trouble. It drops now for Sean Wright Phillips. Here's Cortez. A little real estate to work with. And he'll hold up traffic and wait for support. Good movement from Ricci. Saved by Diop. The creativity at a high, but the reactions of Diop a little bit better.
That was a heck of a play. A great ball in, a good volley, and a good save all the way around. And, you know, this team here, what we're seeing tonight, has got some players that can do some special things. Just the combination as we watch this little chip by Cortez. Full volley, good save by Clement Diop. And they got a corner out of that one coming up. But this is what I'm saying about the young guys. They did a good job of just pressure, winning the ball, keeping it, but nothing to challenge the keeper for Phoenix, and they come down one time and almost get a goal.
That's going to be one for the highlight reel. They've had plenty of that tonight. 5 minutes into the second half, Sean Wright Phillips to take the fourth quarter. Diop spills it. It'll come out for an LA throw. What a start. Been a lot of good theater tonight, as they say. Some blockbuster stuff. Here's Mendiola. That looked positive for LA, but Gibbons is there, and Stewart heads it clear for Phoenix. This is Matt Watson, who has been recalled into the first 11. One of those 3 changes tonight for Patrice Cateron. Here's Drogs, and he'll need some support. And he gets it. Stepping forward now is Blair Gavin, a former Akron Zip, who plays it into the corner for Gibbons, who does well to keep it in. Good approach play, and here's the troublesome Rigi. Oh my, he's so feisty at that low center of gravity. So much mobility and pace. This is Watson now for Phoenix. Pushed over to the near side. And a block that time from Zubac, tending to his defensive duties. This is Gibbons. Trying to find his way through it, and eventually it disseminates. Once again, you see Phoenix just flexing their attacking muscle.
Well, you know, they have a good understanding there. They put people forward. And, you know, the whole idea is that, you know, you have a lot of guys out there that have good skill, but also good understanding on how to play the game at the right moments, at the right time.
So out of the back, LA trailing. Protecting that 4-game unbeaten run. Their longest of the season. Finding themselves 7 points adrift of a playoff spot coming into tonight. They can ill afford another defeat. Here's Drogba on the outside of that right. Finds Rigi. And this time he won't work his way around the likes of Bradley Diallo. This is Sean Wright Phillips. Prodding his way through. It's Sean Wright Phillips. And he mishit that one, but found that moment of space, but couldn't steer it on target.
Well, you know, the ball that was played previous to that by Drogba outside the right foot, bending ball right onto the chest. Nice move in there by Wright Phillips to cut inside, but, you know, just didn't put it on target the way he's capable of doing. So, you know, again and again, you know, it's the Galaxy creeping in, but then basically Phoenix answering the bell a little bit now and starting to get themselves going a little bit.
Dia. Bowled over by Zubac. Trading blows. And we're going to see the first switch of the evening. It's going to be for LA. Mike Munoz has seen enough, and he's going to bring on Nathan Smith to shore up the right-hand side of this Los Dos defense. So Smith, the 22-year-old from up in Clovis in the Central Valley, getting a chance to run out. Just his 3rd appearance for Los Dos this season after starting the last 2 games. Here's Cortez, 1v1 against Diallo. That looked to be shoulder to shoulder, and that's the way the referee saw it, and a little retaliation from Cortez. Temper, temper, boys.
Well, you know, it was the angle of always the argument, you know, is it shoulder to shoulder, a little bit behind the shoulder blade? But clearly the referee saw it shoulder to shoulder and in favor of the Galaxy. And, you know, as you mentioned, the Galaxy sub on Smith, another guy who's seen time with the first team. He started the other night against OC. So some fresh legs in there. Maybe probably for sure I want to see him get forward to help a little bit into the attack.
And Nathan making that big breakthrough into the senior team this year with early parts of the campaign. LA decimated by injuries and suspensions. Long searching ball, easily claimed by Wazinski. Smith actually making 10 appearances for the first team. Confirmation of the substitute. The first of the evening for either side. And it really won't adjust or change the tactical setup tonight for Mike Munoz. And Smith will take up his usual spot on the right-hand side of defense. Ricci locates Cortez, trying to backheel it through and claimed by Josh Turnley. There's one thing that this Phoenix team does is defend well from the front and really limiting that distribution out of the back for Los Dos.
Well, you can see that Didier Drogba out there giving orders, telling people where to go, what to do, where to be. I mean, that's incredible experience out there to be your captain and leader.
Channeling his inner Mourinho, perhaps. Gavin onto the scene, keeps possession alive. Ricci can't work the 1-2 with Cortez, but Phoenix keep it on the throw. Drogba actually leading the team in shots, only 8 games in coming in tonight, taking 38 shots. This time it's Cortez who mishits it. Not showing off his best wares, but tracked down by the speedy Sean Wright-Phillips, supported by Amadou Dia. And here comes the Frenchman through. It's Dia! Denied by his countryman. And Clement Diop to the rescue one more time. What a save.
Well, what a nice move, though. If he cuts that ball back to Drogba, I mean, it would have been a clear shot for him, but he was so excited about his movement, breaking through, and then hammering that shot. And then we'll get a chance to watch this again. He just takes off, cuts inside, beats Smith, and just hits the shot. And Diop is rightfully so saying, guys, you got to defend a little better than that. Not to allow a guy to zip right in there and have a free shot on goal.
Another corner coming up this time for Rising. We're starting to settle into this second half, looking very, very comfortable in enemy territory. Sean Wright-Phillips on that far side. Beware the outswinger. It's a low trajectory. Claimed by Ethan Zubak, who clears it away to safety. And a chance now for Rio Fuji and Los Dos to break. Slips it past Stewart. This is Dylan. And Mendiola couldn't return the favor down the touchline. Ethan Zubak for Los Dos on the big switch on the near side for Nathan Smith. He likes to make a gallop or two into the attacking half. The former UCLA Bruin. Forward for Dylan. Plenty of space on the turn. Left-hand side arriving is Turnley. Plenty of options for him. Vera pulls it across. Great work as Dylan is denied the slimmest of margins as he had a wonderful run to the near post, and somehow or another, LA don't find the back of the net.
That one, I think, went off the crossbar, and it was a great cutback ball. Good opportunity. That was the chance you're looking for to get yourself back into the game. And unfortunately there, hit the bar and went over, so nothing there except a corner coming out of it.
Fuji on the delivery. Good trajectory, headed away by Chris Cortez. Here's Raul Mendiola around Ricci. Payeras is forward as well off that dead ball. And Arteaga left it all to do on that left-hand side as Phoenix dispatched, but a slick penetrating move from Los Dos that I'm sure will put a smile on the face of Mike Munoz.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, like they say a lot of times, things are close as we get the chance to see it again. Nice cutback in there. Keeper was sprawled going one way and the ball was going the other. It just went high and just a little too high, and the opportunity lost.
Oh, it's a defensive mistake. It's in. It's Dylan. So so close. Well, it was Adrian Vera who came within inches of grabbing one back as he slipped behind his marker. Brilliant play down that left-hand side. This game is really, really opening up.
Good opportunity there and a good save. And great save. The keeper was out and just parried it over the top. Again, Galaxy opportunity knocking.
Mendiola for Fuji. Off the corner kick. Oh, a drop of the shoulder. Watson, though, does well to react on Phoenix's behalf. This game has had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think you're seeing two good chances by both teams, you know, in this first 15 minutes here. And I think you're going to see a lot more as the game progresses.
A little shove in the back there from Amadou Dia and some extra words between he and Ethan Zubak. It's getting a little prickly.
Well, I think now, you know, one of the things that the Galaxy have shown is that there's no quit there on this team, and they're fighting back to try to get one.
Off the head of Diallo and a throw down for Phoenix. Right in front of that Los Dos bench, of course, Laurent Courtois and Klein Plumer, the assistants for Mike Munoz and company. Cortez muscled off by Payeres. The referee didn't like what he saw, and he's awarded the free kick. A little shove in the back from Payeres, just trying to work off the rust after signing for Los Dos in the midweek. One of two signings this week, actually, as Efrain Alvarez become the youngest signing in USL history at 15 years and 44 days. Unbelievable, and a real highly rated talent in that LA Galaxy Academy setup. The future is bright.
Well, these young players that they've, you know, signing and bringing in, you know, it's amazing. But you know, these young guys, the opportunity to be in that environment, in a professional environment, is only going to, future for them is very, very bright.
So Drogba standing over, it gives it a toe punch, and that will sail well clear of Diop's goal. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for all the dates and times. Arteaga. 17-year-old from Glendora has really been a smooth operator. It may drop for Dillon, just trying to help it forward for Vera. Flag is down for the LA winger, supported by Justin Dillon. Clever movement, but last off, Josh Turnley. It'll come out now for a Wasinski goal kick.
Well, you know, so much of this game, there's bounces, there's luck, there's opportunities, and clearly there, you know, the Galaxy had two good ones. One good save by the keeper to parry it over on Vera's shot, and then the other one was just, you know, the crossbar being a good friend for Phoenix.
The flick from Drogba, locating his former Chelsea teammate Sean Wright-Phillips. It goes out of play. Throw now for SWP and Rising FC. Drogba lets it drop across his body. Oh my goodness, what a ball out wide. And Rigi, here he is, this spells trouble. Step over, Rigi, and two defenders converge on the little Canadian to extinguish the threat. And he is just a stick of dynamite on those wide rolls. And did it come out of play? That looks to be the debate. Justin Dillon just walking the tightrope over there on that far side.
Well, you know, he shows some promise there with things like that. You know, a great pace, ability to run with the ball. But this ball that Drogba laid out there just a little while ago was a thing of beauty. You know, 40-yard pass outside the foot, dropped in there like a, you know, like a you know, an NFL quarterback, really.
It's unbelievable because he didn't even look up. He knew where Origi was. So clever. And that's the speed of thought from Didier Drogba, one of the true legends of the game, one of the legends of the Premier League era. At the top flight of world football for so many years. I remember catching his first preseason game in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania against Roma and talking with him. And you could see that he was very much up for the challenge and a player that really lived up to his immense potential. He maximized it. Meanwhile, here come Los Dos. Drop back for Fuji, trying to pick the right pass. Great movement from Dylan, shouldering off Stewart. Laying it back now, the chip over, and perhaps a little bit too intricate. Dylan can't bring it down, and Cortez will clear.
Well, I thought on that one there, someone should have had a go. You know, someone needs to shoot a little bit too much passing inside the box. And, you know, that's where I think the young guys have got to realize sometimes just say, we got to get a shot off.
Need that ruthless killer instinct. Why not have a go? Still plenty of time. Smith, the only substitute tonight. Zubac, who drops into his own half. It's well read on that 1-2 between he and Mendiola by Amadou Dia. Drogba closed down by Arteaga, and once again shoulders off the challenge from the young teenager. And you see the referee saying, hey, cool it, as the foul is charged against Los Dos. But you like the spirit of Arteaga, who's not backing down from the challenge.
Oh, it's fantastic that a young player like that, not fearing the going up there and getting tight and, you know, trying to body up on him.
I remember interviewing Drogba, but I was scared to walk up to him. So hats off to Arteaga, who's dueling against the legend. Sean Wright Phillips now, supported by Jordan Stewart. Dia to his left, and Stewart will pick the long pass for an on-rushing Cortez, and the flag is up on that far side. The referee's assistant had a beat on it. While we've got a moment, Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. So no clean sheet tonight on Pups at the Pitch. LA Galaxy fans bringing their dogs on inside the stadium, and a benefit for the SPCA LA for the second time. Great night for soccer, an important night in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I think that now here's where, you know, I think the Galaxy continue looking to play a little bit. Phoenix does a good job of always breaking things down, but I think the Galaxy right now, these next 10 minutes are crucial for them to try to get themselves back in this game.
There is a slight bit of hesitancy in that attacking third. Dylan trying to hold it up. And good work this time from Vera, who locates Zubac. Nice play here. Zubac trying to return the favor with a good cross, but it's headed away by Jordan Stewart. Drogba once again shielding off Arteaga, the youngster, and it's a foot race. Regi's got a beat on it. He's got the speed edge on Diallo, but Diallo read the angle well. It was an extra shove, and I do believe the referee might have just about had enough. Look as though he was reaching for the pocket. Toussaint keeping his cards in. It still hasn't shown any yellow so far this evening. As we hit past the midpoint of half number 2, happy to have you along on USLsoccer.com. Christian Miles in for Joe Totino, joined by the coach Ralph Perez, and we're going to see the first change of the evening for the visitors tonight. So we'll see. Sean Wright Phillips coming off. And A.J. Gray getting a chance to come on.
Well, you know, a fun player to watch, productive, and, you know, probably, you know, one of those things where they figure, hey, if we can get 70 minutes out of him. That's good.
So you get a look at AJ Gray coming in. See how that will affect things. Sean Wright Phillips, you would think perhaps they may lose a little width without the diminutive Englishman on the flanks. Meanwhile, chased down by Los Dos, Bradley Diallo. They've done well there. Here's Payeres. These two just trying to find the understanding in the heart of that Los Dos defense. Zubac. Jake Arteaga. Supported well by the Guatemalan Nathan Smith. Some high pressure here now from Phoenix Rising as they try to lure them out of their shell. And when Los Dos have looked the most dangerous, it's been on the counter, using their speed to get in behind as it comes out wide on the left now, and here they come.
That was a nice ball by Diallo to play on that flank. A long ball like that, kept it in play. Good ball to the overlapping player on that far left side.
Vera for Turnley. Those wide areas were paramount and central to so much of the first half success for Phoenix. Still trying to control those areas here and make it their own. Good interplay between Mendiola and Smith. Here's Ethan Zubac. It's one thing to do it at midfield. LA trying to string something meaningful together in the attacking third as it comes out wide. Little drop of the shoulder now. Squared across. Mendiola. Well, the buildup was there, but the final product just lacking a little bit of that spit and polish.
That was really well done, though, by them. Los Dos, the patience, the ball movement. But as you said, the final phase is what's needed, though.
So corner number 7 for Rio Fuji and LA Galaxy 2. Perhaps a test for Wasinski, who hasn't had a lot to do. He belts one in. A bad looking delivery either. Smith. With the former UCSB man, Fuji. Great looking cross right into the teeth of that Phoenix defense, and Ramage had to put a foot in to steer it clear. What a ball that was.
It was a good ball. It was a good driven ball in. And but you know, the only problem with that was that there was no white shirts in there. It's a bank of 4 red jerseys all sitting in there across the goal mouth for Phoenix to defend it.
So make it 8 corners. Will this be the way back? They need something positive inside 20 minutes left. Fuji delivers, and once again comfortable for Wasinski. All 6'5" of him. All USL matches are available live, free, and in HD on YouTube. You can follow the action on the USL YouTube channel. Drogba working hard. And he took a lick on that one as he comes up, grabbing that left angle. Well, he took a bit of a shot in the first half. He's taken his licks here in the second as well.
That didn't look good, the way he fell. Looked more like the Achilles, you know. He went down and he's really grimacing in pain here, as we can watch the play here. So he just kind of went on his own. No one really touched him, and he's grabbing it, and that's not good.
I'd be surprised. At 39 years of age, he's put in a 74-minute shift, and perhaps his shift may be over, if not for any precautionary reasons. Remember, Drogba, not just the star of this team, one of the owners of this team, a consortium of sorts. So you get a look at his backside of his head coach, Patrice Cataron. Those two very good friends. An interesting way that the coaching situation developed. Cataron out visiting his friend Didier Drogba when the position became available, and Drogba says, hey, why not give my buddy a shot? A few weeks later, Cateron roaming the touchline. Sometimes that's how it works.
Right place, right time, know the right people. Sure is, you know.
So here they come. Mendiola locates Smith, who makes a foray forward now. Good square ball across, locating Vera. Here's Fuji, who finds his way up for Diallo. A lot of red shirts back. 10 behind it now as they're a man down. And Drogba continues to get treatment on the touchline, very much favoring that left leg. A big loss for them. Raul Mendiola now for Payeres, who set up camp in the Phoenix half. Short, long, and that won't come off. There is Double D.
He's walking on it a little more weight, a little more weight. He's looking to go back in.
He wants more.
That's amazing to me that he's going to go back in.
You got to love that competitive fire. Favoring that left ankle. The Ivory Coast's all-time leading scorer. 65 goals for his country. They'll defend this free kick from Fuji. Great delivery once again, but superbly defended, you'd have to say, from Phoenix. Drops back, Turnley trying to deliver the cross. And they'll get another free kick out of it. Hard to think, Ralph, this is a Phoenix team that only has one shutout, one clean sheet, as they say, in the entire season.
Well, you know, watching some of the teams that you see that they come in, and I know that when you go on the road, things can be different, but you see some teams and you say, boy, you know, how come they're not in the table above, you know, because they look pretty good tonight. But I guess, you know, it's a matter of, you know, the duration and the length of the season, getting it done. So there's a lot of good teams in this league, no question about it.
So Fuji standing over it from about 20 yards deep. And this is a great opportunity once again. Fuji belts one in, and who else is there but Didier Drogba doing the dirty work.
Well, you know, one of the things that, you know, a player like him, he knows where to position himself, and he has an idea where that ball's going.
Fuji puts it right in. Wazinski flapped at it, it drops, and a referee spots something he didn't like inside the area. So free kick coming up here for the visitors. Trying to complete the sweep of Los Dos after a 2-1 win here in May. They started things out in Arizona with the same score line back on April 8th. And way back when Luke Rooney was their top goal scorer, and expecting big things out of him before he went down with an ACL knee injury. Gavin wins it. Fuji claims. Vera, who's central, locates Josh Turnley. Los Dos trying to build out of midfield. A header from Dia only as far as Mendiola, and it's a foot race between Dia and Smith. A little shove in the back from the Phoenix left back. He hasn't shied away from the physical aspect either. Right in front of that Los Dos bench, you see Mike Munoz standing, Laurent Courtois kneeling. One-time LA Galaxy player, now assistant coach at the USL level. As the free kicks pile up. LA looking for a little bit of late drama as they try and pull one out of the fire, so to speak. Keep some playoff hopes alive in that 4-game unbeaten run, trying to push it to 5. So no one marking up at the near far post for Phoenix. It's Fuji standing over it. A menacing right foot as it curls out over the head of Diallo. And headed away by Dia. Sent right back in by Smith, and this time it's claimed by Wazinski.
It's one of those things that, as you see constantly now, as the time is going, you know, it's funny, and that's what I always say, the time runs against you. It puts more pressure on you when your time is going and you're losing. And I think it's that time also now where, you know, they have to push more people forward. I mean, you look at the play right now, you got 5 guys behind the ball for the Galaxy. You don't need that many. You need to get people more advanced.
Here's Jeffrey Payeres, former municipal man. His first start of the 2017 campaign after a successful loan spell last year. Here's Drogba. And pick out his fellow goal scorer, Rigi, to no avail. Nicely read back there by Payeres. And the busy Raul Mendiola finds his way forward for Nathan Smith, who rode the challenge. Ball stays in. It didn't go over the touchline. Mendiola playing the whistle very astutely. Get the feelings perhaps these two might be out of gas a little bit as Drogba takes another tumble. You got to think at 39 years of age, those hurt all that much more each time.
Away! Good, up!
Cortez knocks it down. Drogba pulling the strings in midfield. Rides another challenge from Mendiola. He's looking like a number 10, but the number 11 plays it wide. The substitute, Gray, trying to get involved. He's got Cortez to his left, and Gray calls his own number, but certainly gets the block in. Onto it is Blair Gavin, the conductor, as they say. It's a good midfield, too, between he and Matt Watson. And that could be costly back there. Smith nearly gave it away in a precarious area. They are onto it like bees on honey, these Phoenix players. You can't give them anything.
No, they're doing enough right now to make it tough. And it's been a while since the Galaxy have been goal dangerous.
Here's Bradley Diallo. Not the best of decisions by the youngster Arteaga. Dia only too happy to oblige as Drogba thought about being casual, and he's ripped down from behind, and Payeres surely is going to be booked for this. So his debut marked by a yellow card, and hard to believe, 82 minutes in, and we've finally seen our first caution of the evening. Perhaps the smart thing is Payeres was turned. So Alex Mendez wearing the number 60 will check in for Mendiola. Mendez also coming off the bench in the first half, replacing Zonga on Wednesday night against Orange County SC. Second substitution tonight for Mike Munoz. Meanwhile, Watson right back to work, locates Cortez, is playing centrally, and his first touch just lets him down. Here's Mendez at his first touch, comes out wide, and here come Los Dos. The drop of the shoulder on that far touch line. It's good, sturdy stuff. Good run there from Ethan Zubak.
It was a good run, but I think what he needed to do there, and that's one of the things if I were to say something, he's got to develop a stop and go with that pace. You know, if he could just slow that defender down and then use that pace that he has to go again, I think he could get that separation, what he's looking for.
Well, LA Galaxy fans, see the future of your LA Galaxy when Alejandro Covarrubias, Ethan Zubak, Justin Dillon, and Los Dos take on Rio Grande Valley FC on September 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Fans can save money by purchasing their Los Dos tickets in advance online at lagalaxy.com/2. 7 minutes and some change remaining plus added on time at the StubHub Center Track and Field Stadium. Great crowd on hand. Not the result these Los Dos supporters envisioned, but still time to change the outlook and the outcome. Arteaga dropping deep, along with his substitute Mendez. This is Fuji with a turn. Wide now, Turnley. The overlap is there. He's trying to get the target man involved, Dillon, but they opt to go wide for Nathan Smith, who did well to keep it in. And a sloppy giveaway. A little careless in possession as Drogba neat and tidy as usual, locates the sweet feet of Blair Gavin. Gray. Plenty of time to pick the pass. Gibbons for Matt Watson, a 32-year-old Englishman. A lot of European flavor in this Phoenix setup. Some French, Ivorian, Canadian, as well as English talent. Here's Alex Mendez, who just came on. So he's going to take up a spot in the center of the park now for Mike Munoz. Vera's tucked in a little bit more inside, and once again, a familiar theme is they just can't quite connect. Not on the same page.
No, and I think that you know, the young players here, I thought, you know, maybe they would have the younger legs a little bit more going, but it seems that the technical issues tonight have let them down a little bit.
I'm seeing Arteaga drop into a deeper role in defense. LA trying to throw numbers at their problems, and the time against them right now. Less than 5 minutes to make up 2 goals. Payeres. Good touch from Fuji to locate Smith. This is positive. Fuji just trying to play it up for Dylan. Peter Ramage is sticking his big head in there to win it back, but LA claim. And here is Zubak flaring out wide. He likes these types of situations. Ethan works his way around Drogba, not too bad, but Double D says, wait a minute, and picks his pocket.
He's doing it all. He's back there defending. Man. He's in midfield scheming, hitting long balls. He's dropped deeper off the front line.
You know, Ralph, you've been around and seen it, but a guy who, he talks the talk, but he walks the walk, and he's leading by example, as you mentioned, not just in the attacking end, but getting back and doing the dirty work.
Well, I thought he was done after that injury there. I mean, I really thought it was not good, and he came back on, and he's going to play, looks like, the whole game.
And right now, lining up on the left-hand side of midfield. The world needs another 39-year-old winger, don't they? Here's Smith. Well, not a bad-looking ball, run to the near post, and it caught Phoenix a little, well, shall we say, not prepared. Good movement. Can't fault that from Zubak. He's been running his shoes off all night. And that's one thing Nathan Smith can do, is pick a pass.
Well, here we go now. I think we're going to see another sub for Los Dos.
So the substitution getting set to come on. And Ulysses Yanez, you know, get a chance to run out. The pipeline from the academy to USL continues. Lanez coming on. Turnley off. Good shift from Turnley. And Lanez with his first touch finds his way back to Payeres. Here's Diallo. They could use some creative inspiration. Early ball played in. Zubak trying to flick it on. Fuji! Wow. Well, right on cue. A flair for the spectacular on a wonderful flick that time from Zubak, but Fuji couldn't do what he did on Wednesday night and score.
It's a nice little ball, a good ball played in. Nice, unselfish play, but again, just couldn't put it on target.
Play even Drogba would have been proud of.
You know, it's just really a ball that he just lets it go. It comes off the defender, and they couldn't make him, you know, pay for that punishment of the defender knocking it to them.
Diallo fortified. went up strong for that challenge, but so too did Drogba, and he's down again. What a desire to compete. And it looks as though he has really felt the brunt of that collision. He and Diallo have been going at it all night.
Yeah, I thought that one, if we were to see the replay, I think he got fouled on that one. And, you know, he went down hard.
Get a good look at the bench for Phoenix. So Drogba down.
I think after this game tonight, if they came by bus, he deserves to fly home.
Well, he's got the bankroll for it. They could pull off just their second win away from home, the season sweep of Los Dos. He may spring for the ticket. Who knows?
He's still down, and the trainer's still looking at him. And
he might be well advised to step aside for these final moments and take a bigger picture approach to it. He's going to be vital for them if they hope to make the playoffs. Remember, he's not just a star player for La Furia Roja, the supporters group. Also, one of the men who really calls the shots. I mean, the last time I remember a player being the boss of his coach, you can't script that kind of stuff. I don't think that's ever happened.
no, that doesn't happen too often in sport. You know, he's now finally sitting up, which is a good sign to see, and then standing up, so that's even a better sign. But you know, I think he's got to come off there.
Yeah, Drogba is. This is the prudent decision, and gingerly comes off. He never backs down from a challenge, leads by example, does not ask anybody else to do something he wouldn't do. A piece of brilliance from yesteryear to lead things off on the 14th minute with a magnificent free kick. And of course followed up on the stroke of halftime by Alessandro Rigi's crafty footwork.
And he's going to sleep good tonight, Didier. I mean, he put in a good effort there, but I think he also took some knocks, and you know, he's sitting down now on the bench there, and
they'll bring in Jason Johnson, the Jamaican. Johnson, of course, the man who's had to step aside for Drogba. Drogba will get a chance to rest up and look ahead to that clash for them next Saturday away to Rio Grande Valley SC. Dia, nice pass, Johnson, first touch, squares it across. Some hot water defensively, but LA get themselves out of it. How about the skill this time of Mendez? Plays it to that far side, and here they come. Lanes, who's popped up, plays in an early ball, but Ramage is there defensively for Phoenix. Here's Gray, the substitute, slips around one. What a night of soccer. What a treat. And Smith was summoned. LA, of course, gearing up. He'll be off for quite some time. Next match coming up on the 18th, away to Colorado Switchbacks. And then a trip up to Vancouver Whitecaps 2 on the 27th before returning home on Labor Day weekend, September 3rd, against Rio Grande again in that rematch. Here's Justin Dillon trying to take something positive, but that cross, you can't take anything positive out of that.
Justin's, we've seen him play, and we've seen him play a lot better than he's played tonight. And a little frustration for the youngster tonight, but these are the things that, you know, you have to learn as a player, bringing it, you know, game in, game out, and this is all part of that growth and development, and part of that is really more of the mentality that you need to have.
It did seem to be a good shape, no shortage of work ethic. They've been competing, they've made it difficult, not easy to play against, and if you're a coach, if you're going to go down to defeat, at least that's something positive you can take out of it. Mike Munoz, though, will address a few things, I'm sure, this week in training before Big clash against Colorado on the 18th. This will complete a season sweep, and you know, it was a chance for LA to go level on points, and now the old 6-point swing is Phoenix will now move clear of them and make the playoffs just a little bit more difficult. Payeres, dying embers here. Smith just pumps one forward. Stewart steps up. Payeres into the Phoenix half. And here it is for Mendez, cutting ball in and nicely extinguished by Ramage. Stumbled to make the clearance. And it's worked its way forward on that right-hand side where Cortez has come up, squares it across, trying to pick out the likes of Johnson. And it'll come out wide on the far side. $50 yellow cards on the season, by the way, as Payeres became the 50th caution dealt out. And they've had their problems with discipline, but plenty of time to rectify the situation. And of course, a byproduct of a little bit of inexperience, but 90 minutes done. And the quality and the defining difference came in the first half. Didier Drogba with a magnificent free kick. And of course, Alessandro Rigi following that up on the stroke of halftime. Phoenix 2, LA Galaxy 2-0, and hard to argue, Ralph, against the scoreline.
No, you can't argue. I mean, I think one of the frustrating parts when you're Mike Munoz is that, you know, you're trying to put this group, trying to get them to be everything you want them to be, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle because I think the game went, you know, I think the Galaxy really got beaten tonight, but I think that it was they were a little unlucky not to make it 2-1, make it a little more uncomfortable for Phoenix. But you know, two goals there that, you know, they paid for in the first half, but in the second half, you know, you look at it and say, okay, we didn't concede any, but you know, the problem is you're trying to find goals, and this is what this young team is really lacking. You know, someone who can really be up front, that can put away goal-scoring chances.
So Los Dos blanked, but plenty of positive to take this one as they get set to hit the trading pitch for another week and gear up for a clash on the 18th against the Colorado Switchbacks. Meanwhile, for Phoenix, they will have a short duration of rest before they hit the road to take on Rio Grande Valley SC next Saturday away from home. Final score tonight after 90 minutes, Phoenix 2, LA 0. Keep it right here on USLsoccer.com. Ralph and I will be right back to wrap things up from Carson next.
Hugo Ariano. I'm a center back, outside back, and I was born in La Palma, California. It was Jersey Shore. I don't know. I like watching a lot of drama, so, you know, that was good enough for me, I guess. A cat? I mean, all they do is sleep, so I mean, that'd be pretty chill. Biggest pet peeve? When people put ketchup all over their fries, like on top of them, and not like dip them. I hate that. Probably Spider-Man. Who wouldn't want to be flying around in webs all over the city, saving everybody? The little purple devil guy that like smiles like weird, like, I don't know, I'd probably be Chris Martin from Coldplay. I don't know, I'd always want to be like a musician, like kind of like having that as an occupation, just working, you know, having fans like yell at you while you sing, and I don't know, that seems like a pretty cool atmosphere I'd want to experience.
Great night for soccer here, but not a great night for Los Dos as they find themselves on the wrong end of a 2-0 result against Phoenix Rising. Didier Drogba and Alessandro Rigi doing the difference. Star power on full display, and we were treated to a very special show tonight on 2 very well taken strikes.
Yeah, I think that there was the first goal. I mean, I'm not kidding that would go down as up for goal of the year candidate for USL. I mean, it was so well hit from distance. Nothing that the Galaxy keeper could do on that one. Second goal was another good ball and a good attack. I think overall, you know, this team here, if they can keep these mature star power players healthy, I don't see why they can't make a run for the playoffs, meaning the Phoenix team.
Well,
because they got those 3 games at hand, and then they picked up 3 tonight, so that helps their cause.
Yes, indeed. They found themselves 4 points adrift of a playoff spot coming in, and now with 25 points through the space of 18 games played, it's looking very good. Meanwhile, Mike Munoz and company fall further adrift, now separated by Phoenix by 6 points. And that shot against them is they have played 3 more games, and the Arizonians, I guess you could say, come in and complete the 3-game sweep over Los Dos, repeating another 2-goal performance that we saw last time they met on May 27th here in Carson. Let's take a look back at some of the highlights here in the better moments. It was a game that had a little bit of everything: dogs, free kicks,
here it
and
is.
magic. Wow.
I mean, that ball had, I mean, that ball had it all. You know, had a little dip even at the end, the power, and you know, what a player, what a player. And they continued to put pressure on the goal. I mean, that shot went wide. Here comes another shot that, you know, goes onto the keeper who makes a save, goes off his chest. Another shot that goes wide and high over the top. But they were pressing, they were pushing for the next goal, and then here comes a nice little movement. But again, the Galaxy, you know, they were bending, but they weren't breaking, and I was hoping that they would go 1-0 in at half, but this was the one that just puts them down from an acute angle, and Gigi did a nice job scoring that one. So now it's like it's 2-0 going into half. The Galaxy almost pulled one back right after that, with Zubak coming in on the backside here, hitting one, but the keeper had it covered. And that's the way the half ended, 2-0.
Yeah, it was a sucker punch with that Rigi goal, and Rigi right back at it. What a save, spectacular. I tell you what, Clement Diop did very well and did him some favors, denying Rigi and then denying Dia, who was played through. It could have been a whole lot worse if it wasn't for the French keeper.
And here's the chance that I thought that could have changed the game for the Galaxy, the one that was off the post. And then the other one here, the keeper makes a good save and comes off his line and parries that ball. So those were the 2 good opportunities in pretty close time frame that the Galaxy had to maybe get it to make it 2-1, and it just didn't work out. And that's just the way it goes.
So as a result, the 4-game unbeaten run is over, and Los Dos fall to 5-11-5 on the campaign. Up next, Los Dos head to Colorado to face off against the Colorado Springs Switchbacks Friday, August 18th. So plenty of time between now and then to get the toolbox out and fix things as we look ahead to the now playoff run, what appears to be on us. What kind of switches and what would you like to see more of here from Los Dos heading forward?
Well, I think one of the things that the youngsters have got to do here is they just got to come out and be a little bit more on the defensive side, smart, be a little more better on their whole total team and individual defending. But I think overall, you know, they had a good run here. They had 4 games where they hadn't taken a loss. You know, so now it's about rebounding and coming back, you know, and going back on the road and doing some things that they need to do. But they really need to figure out, I think, you know, for me, I think Zubak does better when he's up top, what he did the other night, and maybe push Dylan wide. But, you know, those are the things that I think Mike is experimenting with. And, you know, and I think that this young team has got to get more from those key guys. And those key guys, in my opinion, are Fuji and Mendiola. I mean, those are the guys that have got to give you those penetrating killer passes that make the difference. You know, and overall, you know, it's going to be a real hard task for them to make the playoffs, to be real honest. But you know, it's still not unapproachable. They just got to get back on another good run like they just were on.
So Los Dos come up short for the 12th time this season. That will do it for us on behalf of all the good people here at the Track and Field Stadium at StubHub Center and my partner Ralph Perez. This is Christian Miles saying good night from Carson.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.